Welcome back, everyone, to another episode. Join with my co-host, Matty Bissett. I'm Miles O'Kane. Let's get into it, my friend. Here we go. What makes Matthew a good teacher in 2025?
What makes me a good teacher?
A good teacher. So you see a teacher walk in a room in this year or teaching. What makes them a good teacher?
I would have to say relationships.
Yep.
Understanding how important they are. Not the fact that they don't do anything else and they just hang out and talk to the kids, but they realise that relationships are important.
Yep.
And just consistency of practice, I could imagine. They're the two things that I think teachers need in 2025.
Yeah, my big one, I think, with the world changing so much and so much fear out there, just for the teachers to remain calm and composed and sort of be that. And consistency is a big one as well, but just be that, I don't know, not source of strength, but that source of, I guess a strong foundation for the students on a daily basis.
Yeah, the concrete their scaffolding's built around.
So on this episode, we're going to look at the hidden costs of going above and beyond in teaching. Matthew, have you heard of the myth of the superhero teacher?
I've heard of the myth. I've never seen one.
If you were to describe the myth of the superhero teacher, what would come to mind?
For me, they would be the teacher who does everything all the time without getting burnt out.
Selfless, tirelessly.
Yep. And they put their kids' needs above their own.
Yep.
And to an extent, if they've got kids of their own, they put their students above their family life.
Yeah.
Because it's not possible.
Yeah.
That's why it's a myth.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just need to be, I don't know.
I think, I don't know if it's a superhero standard, but there can be a standard at times, a different standard. I'll tell you a different standard in teaching. And I think, like working with kids and being a coach and stuff from a young age, I always thought I was good working with kids. Then I have my own kids. Anyone that gives me advice these days that doesn't have kids, I just dismiss it. And it's not being rude, but I'm like, I thought I knew how to deal with kids until I have my own. And now everything goes out the window.
Yeah.
So I'm like, when people start giving me advice about how to do this or that, I'm like, there's different periods of life. And you're probably, you're possibly right from your perspective, from what you're seeing, but you don't have kids, so therefore you're irrelevant. No, it's, like there's a difference of understanding.
It's one of those things that, like, I have 3 children, So if someone's trying to give me advice on how to manage, not parent, but just manage having 3 young children, and they have 2 dogs.
Yep.
Come on, you can leave your dogs at home and go to work. I leave my kids at home, I get in trouble. You can't. It's the advice needs to be from people who have shared experience.
Absolutely. Who are in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, and then back to the myth of the super teacher or the superhero teacher, I think that can, in minds of teachers, sort of create a false standard. And then you feel like you're being kept to that. And then behind that, there's going to be sort of the guilt that pushes you if you're not achieving. And then how do you sit and how do you compare to everyone else? Yep. So there is some hidden costs behind this standard.
When you compare yourself to the teacher in the room next door.
Yeah, who might be completely different life experiences, a completely different experience in general.
Yep, they might live rent free. They might have, they don't need to worry about their mortgage payments or whatever. So they can spend all their time making their classroom look pretty and do all that. But you've got to do school drop-offs and run. You can't compare yourself. You just can't do it.
Yeah. So I guess on that, I guess looking at the hidden costs, of just sort of going, I guess built on teaching can feel at times it's just built off the back of hard work of teachers without trying to preach about it. But there's hidden cost to that. And we've mentioned before, I think burnout's a big one. I think recognising burnout early is going to be a key thing, that you're going too far, or you're going above and beyond, just be able to scale it back. Now, again, us being seasoned teachers and with the experience, hindsight's a beautiful thing, but I think it's, advice we can give out there to teachers, no matter where you're in career, is just sort of stay within your boundaries and don't feel like you have to extend yourself.
I think one of the big things people have to remember is, I forget who said it, but kids remember the teacher and how the teacher made them feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like in 20 years, they're going to remember the teacher who was nice and happy and made them feel like they were part of the classroom.
Compared
not,
to the teacher that teaching quadratics. Or I agree with that.
just not the person that, that teacher gave us, all they did was give us worksheets.
Yeah.
That's not, like, you need to realise that doing more doesn't get you better results.
Yeah.
Being efficient gets you better results.
Well, then back to consistency, is having the small consistency over, or having constant consistency, being constant over, having the sacrifice, or being the sacrifice all the time. And again, I think that false standard makes us feel as teachers that you got to, be sacrificing your own life, or sacrificing other things in there, which isn't going to help you down the track.
No. All that unpaid overtime, Miles.
How's it impact on your personal life, going above and beyond in the classroom?
Well,
talk to me about energy.
Energy. Well, the thing is, if obviously during the day, don't do much physical work, a lot of mental work.
Yeah.
Like mentally, it feels like I've ran to Mandurah and back.
Well, it feels like you make 1,000 decisions a day, doesn't it?
Easy. So, like, mentally, I'm exhausted by the end of the day. So then you've got to drive home, which can be exhausting, depends on how you drive and the traffic you drive in and things. Then I get home and then I've got to be turned on, ready to answer questions from 3 young children who want to tell me all about their day.
Yeah.
But I have nothing left.
Yeah.
So I'm like, can you please just watch your iPad for 10 minutes?
Yeah.
I just need a break. But they're little kids. They're only little once.
Yeah.
So I don't want them to do that. So then I need to suck it up and give a half-assed attempt at being a responsive parent.
Yeah.
But I'm only half-assed because I've given too much at work.
How much work you doing at home these days?
I'm trying to do way less.
Yeah. And what's your focus around that? Is trying to do more during the day, or just go?
It's hard because of the job I'm in at the moment. I'm stretched all over the place.
Yeah.
So if I'm at school, my time to do paperwork and things is very limited.
Yes.
Because students need me for co-reg or need to go and help with a different, another teacher or something like that. So it's mainly just catching up on all of the administration paperwork.
What's your email situation like? Do you get a heap of emails during the day?
Yep.
Across all your different schools, I guess.
Yep. So a lot of emails. I don't reply to emails after hours unless I sort of have to. Sometimes are time-sensitive ones.
Yeah.
But I'll read most of my emails at night time once the kids go to bed.
Yeah.
But I don't reply to them. I'm trying to stop that. I don't have push notifications on my phone or anything.
Yeah.
To stop those, emails. And I do have a work phone.
Yeah.
That I give all my work number. And as soon as I finish work, I turn it off. I don't answer it. Don't look at it. Message me all you want. Call me all you want. You're not going to get me.
I think energy is the main one for me, and I think I've got to consciously look how to preserve that these days, or conserve it.
We're old now, Miles.
But you don't want to feel like, and at times you can feel like I'm giving all my energy at school, and you come home to your family or your other stuff in your personal life. It's not going to be the same amount of energy. So I guess trying to find ways to balance everything across the day. That can be a challenging
And
point.
caffeine doesn't work in the afternoon, Miles.
I don't know if you're having 10 cups of coffee.
No, I do drink a lot of coffee, Miles.
Have you ever tried a quad shot in the morning, Matthew?
No. Well, I drink cold brew coffee, so I don't know how many shots are in my probably 60 to 90 mils of coffee concentrate. So
outside, how are most of your mates group teachers? It's probably different because you come from over east as well.
Yeah, so I've got a few teaching mates and then a few non-teaching mates.
Yeah.
So bit all over the place.
Yeah.
So
look, I know it's different, and obviously different stages of life, but I know, especially when I was teaching in the country, my first couple of years, and you come back down, there's nothing better when you're out having a good time and your other mates who aren't teachers are going to work the next day.
It's great.
And you've got, and then you start to, it can be that, not a group thing, but, then school then becomes a topic of conversation when you're out with your teaching mates. So you've got to be conscious of that as well.
So I definitely, when I catch up with teacher mates on holidays, we very rarely actually talk about work because we make sure that we don't bring that up. Like it's a conscious effort not to talk about school. which has taken a long time.
Yeah.
But now, after a couple of years, we don't really mention work. Unless there's a funny story, you know, you want to bring it up and
Always funny stories.
and share a funny story, Miles.
There's always a funny story. What else about overworking can lead to impersonal life? I mean, I think I don't, just on that before about taking work home. I used to, but I don't now. I'm disciplined about that. But I make sure, like, we have dot times. We have dot times at high school. So we usually 1 dot a day. I just make sure, like, I don't sit back. Like, I'm getting work done at all times. But that's because, for me, the trade-off is I'd rather do it now. And because you're trying to do everything in life as well, I don't want to be thinking about school when I'm trying to do other stuff at home.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be thinking about other stuff at home when I'm at school.
Well, that's the good thing about jiu-jitsu, Miles. If you're thinking about work while you're rolling around,
it's not going to help you, is it?
no, it's definitely not going to help you.
Not going to help you.
So, but one of the big things about doing too much at work is I don't get to train the gym or jiu-jitsu. So it does have a flow-on effect in life.
Right.
You know, like you become a little bit less fit. You become a little bit less healthy because you're not exercising and training as much.
Yeah.
You might stop off on the way home because you didn't eat during the day and get McDonald's.
Right.
Because you didn't have a lunch break because you had to do something.
Yeah.
So I think you really need to actively make sure you don't burn yourself out.
What about, the normalising of these behaviours? Just find it can be a bit more exploitation-like, I guess.
Yeah. So I had a conversation the other day and did some reading online and things like that. The average teacher in WA does minimum 300 hours of overtime.
Is that right? Down primary versus high school or anything like that?
It just said on average. Teachers in WA and across Australia do 300 hours of unpaid work a year, which then made me think about it. I'm like, okay, so how does that work? We get paid from certain time, depends on your school opening hours. You get paid for what, 6.5 hours, I think it is. But you have to be there before work starts to set your room up and do things, especially in primary school. You've got to set your room up, be there to open the door half an hour early or 15 minutes early, depends on school. You have to pack your room away at the end of the day.
Right.
You have to do all this stuff. So everything sort of does start creeping in. You bring marking home, you bring reports home. You know, you start... I don't know any other job where you would have to do unpaid work ever. Unless you're a business owner, but that's very different.
I've heard that before about the 15 minutes at the start of the day when you're opening your door, a student's coming into the room, and that's just, what's the responsibility then? Have you got duty of care then?
Yeah.
So, and for our listeners, it probably doesn't sound like much, but you do those 15 minutes over years.
Every day.
Every day.
So that's, 15 minutes Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
That's 10, there's 10 weeks in a term, there's 4 terms. It all does add up. Like, and yes, we get 12 weeks a year holiday.
Yeah.
But in those holidays,
yeah,
you're always working anyway.
Well, I've definitely noticed
especially when you're beginning, not so much now.
I've definitely noticed that at different schools in my career, there's definitely, and it seems to be those young, eager teachers or people in leadership who take on over and over stuff, which is good to start with, but then they're seen as the people that, and I've been part of that, they're seen as the people that take on stuff. And before you know it, you're just crushed by taking on too much.
Doing this, doing that, doing something else.
Yeah, but it almost becomes like you become the standard then. And that above and beyond, that's where it becomes toxic. And you're just like, far out, this is...
And you can only do it for so long until something gives.
Yeah.
Something always gives.
Yeah.
Work, your relationship at home, your relationship with your kids, friendships, your health, something's got to give.
Yeah.
You can't do it all.
Yeah, and that's where, and the exhaustion, irritability and stuff comes in from there. That's profound.
It was, no. But like there is, for every amazing teacher, that amazing teacher, something in their life gives. Something.
Yeah.
Be it they don't walk their dog every day like they wanted to. They don't catch up with their sister at the park to see their nephews and nieces every other week. Something always has to give.
Yeah. So how do we, what's your advice out there? Or what's our advice to teachers out there to be careful about when going above and beyond and the costs associated with it?
Just prioritise things, like for me, it's time management. I have terrible time management. I think a task is going to take 10 minutes. It takes 4 days.
Yeah.
I think a task that takes 4 days takes half an hour. My time management is horrible.
Yeah.
But I think just realizing that you need to prioritize things in your life.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, teaching is a job.
Yeah, it's just a
It's
job.
not you.
Yeah.
It's a job you do. So you need to prioritize the rest of your life, not just teaching. You know, like, because if you prioritize teaching, your life suffers. If you prioritize your life, teaching suffers. So you need to find how you're going to do it.
Yeah. I
And
think,
every person's different too.
and don't feel guilty about not doing stuff as well.
No.
Like, I mean, obviously, if you're capable and feeling up to it, put your hand up and do stuff.
Yep.
But don't feel like it's a necessity.
Absolutely. You know, like I look at running club. Yeah. Clearly, this physique doesn't run. Yeah.
It's still time, Matthew.
There is, but no. I'm not going to put my hand up for running club because one, I live 45 minutes away from my school.
Yeah.
So that means I have to be at school 45 minutes earlier than I need to be. So then I have to leave my kids earlier, which then puts a strain on home. So then I'm not going to say yes to that because it's just too much.
Yeah.
But if I was a grad, maybe I'll go, oh yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Because I'm eager. You know, you want to please people.
Yeah.
Just use your brain.
Well, I think it's back
Pretty
to your
realistic.
point as well about consistency.
Yeah.
I think prioritise consistency over heroics as well. So don't feel like you'll be back to the super teacher. Like that
Yep.
myth has been around since we've started teaching longer. Don't feel like it's such a standard. And don't feel like it's the standard you got to live up to.
Yeah, definitely don't compare yourself to teachers in movies either.
Coach Carter, check it out, mate.
I was more John Lovett from High School High, but
Who? John Lovett?
yeah.
High School High?
Yeah, give it a watch, Miles. It's great. It's a comedy movie set in the mid-90s about a main, what's it called? Inner city school and a teacher from a very rich prep area goes and tries to
Change lives.
Yeah, change lives and make the learning environment better.
Well, this is the funny thing, man. Since I've been talking about movies on this podcast teaching, I always thought there was just three. Dangerous Minds, it's similar to coaching, Dangerous Minds, what's the Denzel one? Remember the Titans,
Yep.
and Coach Carter. Now it's like every time I see another teacher, a new teacher, they tell me about a new movie. I'm like, I gotta check this out. I didn't know it existed.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and then I think that's the other thing on that is just protect your non-negotiables as well. So have, your family time. Make sure you're looking after your personal health.
Yeah.
Obviously good to enjoy yourself, but is that starting to take a toll where you're using it as sort of numbing practices?
But also you can look at, what you do, like take us, for example, yeah? We do jiu-jitsu, yeah? So that gives you an in with certain students because then you have a shared interest.
Yeah.
If you stop doing the things that you like, you're not going to have a shared interest anymore with some of the students. Then the relationships suffer.
Falls
So
down.
so like if I don't like CrossFit, but people love CrossFit. So if you love CrossFit, do your CrossFit lessons. Talk to those CrossFit stuff to your students who like to go and train. Because there's lots of kids, teenagers in the gym. See them all the time.
Yes.
Like those things that you want to do after work that you find satisfying, do them. It makes you a better teacher. Don't prioritize work over those things.
Closing remarks, one thing each. You started, so I'll go first at this time. I think being a teacher and being a good teacher doesn't mean you have to do everything. Like it's just choose your energy and what you do and give it wisely, and just build up small and see where you can do the add-on effects as you go.
Yeah. I guess mine would be, on top of that, consistency. Just consistently be you. Like if you can't be you because you're doing 27 extracurricular activities, don't do 27 things.
Yeah.
Just be you.
Yeah.
The easiest way to, build a relationship with the kids in class is just be you.
Yeah.
Because they smell it.
Can smell he's being genuine or
They
not.
can.
There you go, team. I guess the impact and the hidden cost of going above and beyond in teaching. We appreciate your time. We'll catch you next episode.